Hello guys and welcome to Point of View. This is the brand new Camry. It's the hybrid model with 160 kilowatts and yeah, let's take it for a drive. So start it up. This has keyless entry and it starts in hybrid mode or EV mode. Let's put it in drive, see what it drives like. Now first things first, we have to talk about the history and why Camry is where it is right now. Camry is an old name and Toyota has used it in many generations. Recently in Europe we haven't had a Camry, and it was mostly due to the fact that we had the Avensis, which was the cheaper version, and it was available in sedan and, you know, estate form. So there was no need for a posh Toyota, so to say. Now though, Avensis is discontinued around Europe and now we get the Camry again. Oh goody. I mentioned this was the new Camry, and it is new to us. In Europe, this car is basically brand new. We haven't had a Camry in a long time, but this model in this, you know, design, language, etc. was actually introduced back in late 2016, and basically the rest of the world, Australia, USA, etc. have had this model for a couple of years now. And this poses a problem because it doesn't look very new. I mean, it's not ugly or anything, but outside and on the inside, everything feels like it's from 2017. I'm gonna state it right away. I like the Camry. I love what it stands for. It's a great car at a reasonable price if you want to drive around in the city in medium comfort. Well, not say medium comfort, let's say comfort. Okay, so let's take a look at the exterior of this Camry. Why are you doing that? These guys were silent just a second ago. Okay, so the banging stopped. In the front you get this big bold grille. It's discolored, so when the exterior is black, this is sort of, you know, gunmetal gray. It's not the most pretty thing in the world. You get LED headlights as standard even in the cheapest trim line. In this premium and in the executive line you get these striped LED headlights. 17-inch alloys are standard. This is the premium model, so it gets 18-inch alloys. As a whole, it's a pretty car. I mean, it's a luxury sedan. You can't really go wrong with this design. But it sort of looks boring, doesn't it? It has no lines to distinguish this car from any other, you know, Japanese, Korean sedan. This could easily be a Kia or a Hyundai or any other, you know, Asian car. You wouldn't notice. But this might be the key feature about this car, because it's very low key, and if you like this sort of thing, this might be the car for you. Oh, and as we are in the back of this car, let me show you one thing that really bothers me. You see the exhaust is there, there's another opening there, but there is no exhaust. This little detail drives me crazy. Why didn't they just make two tailpipes, or eliminate the tailpipe altogether, or eliminate this, you know, opening here? It just looks so wrong. And also the exhaust tip here, how Japanese is this? You have a smaller real exhaust and you put a big, you know, muffler style looking thingy over the top, but people can still see the smaller one. So who are you fooling? This is such a stupid thing to do, and it's, you know, it's from the 90s and 80s. Why do you do it still? This is a brand new car. Sheesh. Boot itself is fairly large, I have to say, for a hybrid. I have my camera gear, my laptop in here, no problem, and it will fit many suitcases and yeah, much more. So this is the key to the Camry, and it says Camry right here, so you wouldn't, you know, mess it up with your Corollas or Yaris keys or stuff like that. Of course, this car has keyless entry and start, but as this is a sedan, all 4 doors should have sensors. And the fact is that only the front doors have sensors. And I know this is a small thing again, but similarly priced cars, they have so much. Can you hear this? It sounds like it's gonna fall off any minute now. It's jiggly and it's plasticky almost. A Camry shouldn't have a handle like this. That's really bad. So, stepping in the back, this is where, you know, the executives, the business people will drive, because of course you will have a chauffeur for your Camry. And I'm gonna leave it open so more light comes in. There is a lot of leg room. You see, from here I can control the shade, I can control my backrest, which is very nice actually. And now I have so much room back here. I feel very comfortable. You have these cup holders here, and yeah, this feels like a 7 Series almost, except from the fact that why does it jiggle like that? Really? This isn't good. This isn't good for a cheap car. For a luxury saloon, this is very bad. So now that we are in the front, this is the main console. You have your climate control unit here, your navigation, or you know, just a display here. The navigation, it's the Toyota Go Touch and Go Navigation 2, 3, I don't know what it's called. Okay, so I'm not gonna fixate about the navigation screen, because most cars these days have a problematic navigation screen that I'm not happy with. But this car doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Systems like that are necessary in brand new cars. Why Toyota don't you put Apple CarPlay in your flagship model? The screen itself, it's high resolution, it's nippy, it's fast, it's logically laid out. I like the way these physical buttons are on the side. They have thought things through, and yet it doesn't have Apple CarPlay. The premium version also comes with JBL system. I haven't listened to the regular system, but another thing that's wrong in my books, look at the speakers right here and there. These look like €10 speakers you can buy from your local technology store, and they just look so cheap. Moving on to the middle screen, to the tachometer, this isn't digital as most cars are these days. The middle screen, fair enough, it has a lot of information, but it's so mixed up. It's really hard to see what speed you're doing, and the information you actually want to see while driving, it's hard to find. You want the speed, the range, and the fuel economy. If you add all the menus and the details and stuff like that, it's just hard to read. One thing I almost forgot to mention was the door locks. And bear in mind, this is a 30 to 40,000 euro car, and here, just listen what sound the door locks makes. Now I'm locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. This sounds like somebody's shooting at me. How is this acceptable? Really? It's just stupid. We are in the small streets of Nõmme, and this is where the Camry Hybrid feels at its best. This is where the Camry shines, because barely notice the petrol engine. It's so smooth. The transition between petrol and hybrid or EV mode is unnoticeable, so to say. And the steering is light and it feels very comfortable. It feels very comfortable. I wish you had the opportunity to drive in full electric mode for a couple of kilometers, as I wished in full throttle if I wanted to. But as it is with this car, you really can't drive it long in full electric mode, and it's a pity. The petrol and the electric engine combined, the output is 160 kilowatts. It has 221 newton meters of torque, and 0 to 100 kilometers an hour happens in 6.3 seconds. This is no way a quick car, but as far as hybrids are concerned, it's not slow either. We are stopped in EV mode. Let's put it in sport and accelerate to 50. Well, it's fairly nippy, and it's more than enough for most people, I think. If you are used to faster cars, yes, this might not be for you, but I stand by my point that every hybrid car you drive, it makes you a better driver. And by better, I mean you are more in the flow of the traffic. You want to be in EV rather than just using petrol, and with that you can see better fuel economy. More polar bears will live longer, and it's a smoother ride for everybody. And with this car, you don't want to go fast. You really do not, because the gearbox is a CVT gearbox. If you want to drive fast, you need a manual or a DSG gearbox. When you put your foot down, nothing really happens, and just RPMs rise and you go faster, but it doesn't change gear. And that's not good for sporty driving. But in the city, it might be one of the best gearboxes in the world, because you don't feel anything. It's so smooth, it's so quiet, it's not clunky or chunky or whatever you'd expect in a normal automatic or a manual car. You get none of that. It's just smooth. And for most people, that's what you want, really, don't you? Driving in city speeds, it's not Lexus quiet, but it's borderline Lexus. And that's a big compliment, because Toyotas, usually they are quite loud. It's not, S-Class quiet in here, and if you want real comfort, you're gonna have to buy one of the Germans. But for 30,000 euros and all the, equipment and reliability, you can't go wrong with this car. It starts from 28,500 euros, and for that you get a lot of kit and a lot of options. You get LED headlights, cloth interior, unfortunately, but the level of equipment you actually want is the luxury plus or the business or the executive, because those versions have leather seats, and you simply cannot buy a Camry without leather seats. This is the premium version, which is the top of the line, and it costs 38,500 euros. I wouldn't buy this car if it were my money. I would go for the executive line. That means that you get the bigger screen with navigation, although you're not going to use that anyway, but you get all the safety kit like blind spot assist and full LED headlights with the strips, and most importantly you get 18-inch alloys, because you simply cannot buy this car with 17s. They look so small under this car. I mentioned that in the back the quality is not that good, but in the front, soft touch materials here and there, and then it all goes bad if you start tapping around the car. Even the door pockets, they don't have welt in them. It feels cheap. It looks good, but it feels cheap. The things you touch are good. As I said, leather quality, I like that. Steering wheel feels good in your hands, soft. and nicely weighted, and if you get used to the button layout, it's easy to understand where everything is. What about competitors, you ask? Well, none of the competitors offer, similarly priced hybrid systems anywhere, basically. If you look at the Volkswagen GTE, there's a new version out. It's something more like 40,000 euros. Volvo doesn't offer something like that. Skoda does offer, but it's more expensive. So for the kit and for the price, this actually isn't a bad buy. Oh, fuel economy. The most important thing in this car, stated, is 4.3, 4.4, something like that. The salesperson told me that try and get this car over 6 liters per 100 kilometers. I've been driving in the city, some highway driving, acceleration, standing still, it's done 6.1, and that is exceptionally good for how I've driven this car. If you drive it economically, I think 4 is very, very doable. 5 when you're just driving around reasonably, and 6 if you're driving, more enthusiastically or testing the car like I have done right now. So I guess thank you for watching. This was my short review of the Toyota Camry. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. There will be new videos to come. And yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.